Alright guys, before today's episode, just a quick reminder that we are on Patreon. For as little as £3 a month, you can sign up and get access to an extra episode every 2 weeks, plus bonus content from all our previous live shows. And now guys, you can also purchase the live shows individually if you're not on the Patreon. If you don't want to sign up to a monthly thing, for example, and you want to just see one of the live shows from the Pavilion, from the Glee, from the Fringe, anything like that, they're all available individually to purchase on Patreon right now. Aside from that, you also get access to some tickets, don't you guys? For
You do.
Early dibs on ticket links for future live stand-up shows and if we do live podcasts. And you'll support us, keep us getting guests, and keep us, ticking over.
Keep the lights on.
Exactly.
Paying for that, paying for editors, paying for what?
Yes.
Oh,
Hundreds
carry
of
on.
stuff.
Yes, absolutely. And to level up and keep us going, keep us growing, as I always like to say. Speaking
I
of
like
live,
that, by the way. Love the little catchphrase.
Thank
Did
you.
you come up with that?
I did. I think
Yeah,
so.
that's good.
I think you did.
I thought you ripped that from someone else.
Yeah, I thought that was a rip-off.
Well, it's mine now. So,
It
aside
does
from
have
that-
some original thoughts, don't you? Despite what they say about you, Jennings.
yeah.
Despite what the list
Well,
says.
that's high praise coming from you, Steve. Now,
Listen, I've been on the list Hot 100.
well, you'll find out more about that later in the show. But what would say as well, Stuart, and myself
We are on tour.
Are on tour.
Yes.
Doing stand-up.
Yeah, please come and see me and Marc will do our thing. Strutting in the lights.
Yeah, I've got mine's on summer 2025.
Mine's in March.
UK
/
and
spring.
Ireland for me.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to Ireland. Sorry.
Oh,
Apologies. Nothing personal.
Maybe I'll bring Stu as my tour support.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah,
Maybe.
why not?
No,
And I'll
no.
just hold the fort here. By
Yeah, hold the fort. Yeah.
For like 6 months, Steve's podding alone in here like Bill Burr. It's like...
Well, hopefully see that. But hopefully see you at the live shows, guys. See you over on the Patreon. And aside from that, enjoy today's episode.
Please enjoy.
Goodbye.
Welcome to the Some Laugh Podcast.
It could be like, that was some laugh, or there was just some laughs.
Some laughs.
Well, no promising all laugh.
No,
It's
there's going to be some.
some laugh.
We are back with the boy. The Wanderer returns. It's Stu McPherson.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. They say you only play some laugh twice in your career.
Once on the way up. No.
Do you know what? I'd said that. I opened a gig like that the other night. 'Cause I was
Did
in
you?
Lower Largo, and I thought they wouldn't get it, but they loved it.
Oh, aye.
They do
Probably thought you invented it. So, how was the holiday then, Stu?
Yes, it was class.
You were,
Thank you.
remind us where you were.
I was in Thailand and Vietnam for 4 weeks.
Nice.
2 weeks in each, or
More weighted towards Thailand. I can't remember the specifics, but
did you go to a filming party?
I did not go to a filming party because I'm 31.
Is that a younger person's thing?
That's a
would you
young
say?
man's
Aye. Stay up all night, drinking
Drinking your buckets.
buckets, cocktails
I
at
would
a
have
bucket.
thought that it would be kind of any age because people kind of do that at any age. There's probably people that can go in their 40s, people
Aye.
go in their 20s.
No, I dare say there are. But if I had been, I don't know, recently dumped and travelling alone, I might have done
Perhaps.
something like that. But I was there with my partner.
And she's not into that kind of vibe.
It's not really our scene. I
No.
wouldn't say. No.
Having a good time isn't your scene.
I
Stu?
don't care to have a good time. We were going to museums and stuff. Wrong, we did not go to any museums.
Did you stay in like nice hotels, or were you like slumming it?
We did a bit of everything. There was a couple of shacks, a couple of right shitholes, like
Yeah.
Really?
£5 jobs. Yeah, there was one we stayed on this island called Cat Ba of Vietnam, where it was like in the back of like a shop, and you had to roll the shutters of the shop. The shop was closed. You had to roll up the shutters to get in, and when you'd roll it, all the rats just went everywhere.
Oh, fucking hell.
And then, but we were upstairs. But that was one night, luckily. 'cause-
Jesus
Because you used to
Christ.
talk about in your stand-up, you once went to a flat viewing that was just an empty shop.
Yeah. I nearly fucking lived in a shop. Nearly bought one. Yeah, it was all kinds of stuff, fucking huts and shacks. But it was mainly nice places, Airbnbs and stuff. And then towards the end, when we were in the south of Thailand, we were like, fuck it, let's just start living. So we're in like really nice resorts.
5-star
Fancy.
hotels.
I think we were in a 5-star resort because it's quite cheap, so it's like
Well, this
Yeah.
is what they say. That's why I'm surprised to hear you were in shacks and stuff like that, because they don't
Chef's
say
Love
it's,
Shack.
it's like obviously
It's cheap enough to do the
you could
quality stuff.
indeed.
By the end, and we were living like kings. We're like, why the fuck have we not been doing this the whole time? Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like full of kind of older British people. And you're like, yeah, we could acclimatise to this life. Breakfast buffet.
Mm-hmm.
I could go on.
I've already acclimatised to that
Yeah,
life.
you're so of that life. You love your little luxuries.
I love my little white.
You're a little prince.
That's like saying you love good things.
Being good. Yeah. I want to struggle for it.
Of course I do.
The thing I always remember about that with you is that time we shared the flat in Edinburgh and you came into the bathroom with your wee electric toothbrush and you were like shocked that they never had a wee thing to plug it in.
That
as if you were in a hotel.
A shaver port isn't a luxury.
I think it is a luxury.
I think it's a luxury.
You've got one upstairs.
I knew I did, but that's a very recent
We don't have one in
installation.
mine.
My flat has one.
I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying they're not that
Aye, but
commonplace.
that was like a flat in Edinburgh where it's like one of those old ones where like the
Fucking
toilet
sink's in a
and
different room.
the
For
sink's
fuck's
in a
sake. Of course it's
different
not
room.
got a shaving port.
To be fair, that's when you say it like that, makes sense. But all I had to do was buy an adapter, and because do you not have fucking electric toothbrushes? I don't.
Yeah,
I've had one,
It's got an
but-
adapter, but mine came with an adapter. I just do it in the kitchen.
Mine doesn't. See,
You're in Edinburgh in a flat that fucking Alexander Graham Bell lived in.
he probably invented the shaving pot.
He fucking loved it, that boy.
Scots invented the shaving port, invented everything. I do feel like I think that this is a take based on absolutely nothing.
Great.
But
All the best takes are.
I think electric toothbrushes are bullshit.
Do you know what? I've
Inc-
started thinking along those lines as well.
Yeah.
Often I feel like I'm not cleaning my
Incorrect.
teeth the way I want to be.
Because
No.
I got one because I thought it was maybe better for you, but
8
then
out of 10 dentists recommend.
Correct.
when I
They do.
when I went to
I want
the
to speak to the two dentists. I don't.
when I went to the
The
dentist
brown
about
teeth.
something, they recommended I get one of those Wisdom just normal toothbrushes, and it's got you can do the thing. It's got a wee bit at the back where you can
The
scrape
tongue
your
thing.
tongue, you know that.
Well, your dentist, right? So your dentist is one of the two dentists.
I've got a back straight dentist.
He's one of the 2 out of 10 that are recommending don't use a fucking
In the pocket
Oral
of
B
Big
fucking
Wisdom.
electric thing. Also, when I did have an electric toothbrush, I just could never be asked charging it because like I need to kind of
That
charge.
is the
It's my
problem.
mirror. It's on my mirror, the charge port. So you need to like kind of put it on the mirror, and it's just annoying. It's been asked. Kind of asked.
My teeth.
Woke
feel,
nonsense. Is it
Utter woke
electric?
nonsense.
No,
Probably bad for the environment as well. So it's probably actual
It's all
toothbrushes.
bad for them.
exactly.
Okay.
Disposable toothbrushes. That's worse.
Yeah, probably.
Choking up.
Liam
turtles.
Westnail's got like wooden ones you can buy.
Aye, bamboo ones.
Bamboo
No,
ones.
that's woke shit.
That's woke nonsense.
Yeah, I've stayed at it a couple of times. They've got weird toothpaste around there as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, they've
it's got the
charcoal.
environmentally
It's-
friendly fucking.
It's no your Colgate.
No.
No, Aqua Fresh. You know,
In
it's
the-
some fucking
Get the
pig
toilet roll
shit.
that's fucking recycled. But it's the
that-
last
what's
thing
it
you want
called?
recycled. Let's be fucking real.
Yeah.
Load of pish.
Who gives a crap? Is that what it's called?
Ah,
Ugh,
I don't endorse them.
I
No.
don't like that name.
unless you want sponsors,
Well, of course.
probably not. No.
I want to
nah.
be sponsored by Andrex.
Aye, what is it? Free ply. I want free ply.
By
on that.
Tesco 2-ply.
Our arses have never been cleaner on this podcast.
Imagine that. Hey guys, are you worried about your arse not being clean up?
Try Andrex.
Try Andrex.
I used to like the Charmin adverts.
Oh, yeah.
Charmin. And then it got changed to
You
Cashel.
can do it
Which...
too with Can Do. Remember that
What
one?
one's that again?
I can't remember. Might
You
not
can
even be
do it.
fucking
That
toilet
rings
roll.
a bell.
Might be a kid's thing.
But then they changed it to Cashel and then I stopped buying it.
Is that the bear?
They like
Their branding
koala
is
bear.
confusing.
Yeah, koala bear.
Charmin changed it to Cashel.
I'm sure, unless I'm making that up.
When did this come in?
Okay, I'm sure that's...
I still can't get
Can't
over.
be
What
arsed.
was it? Jif changed to Sif.
Aye.
What
That's
was the reasoning
woke
behind that
nonsense.
again? Was it to do with like an international
Fuck knows.
thing?
Was it not an American thing?
I can't remember.
It's like when
Fucked if I
WWF
know.
changed it to WWE.
it was they had to do it for some
something,
reason.
something like
No,
that. Nah, what I will say on the toothbrush
front.
discourse
Yeah.
is when I go to, for instance, the Travel Lodge, if I'm doing a gig down south and I bring my wee travel toothbrush, which is not electric,
Right.
my teeth feel shite after using that.
Really?
As
I really
opposed to
go the
using
extra
electric.
yard when I've got a manual. That's the thing. I'm thinking about it. I'm trying my best.
You're not.
Electric, you know, podcast on, barely fucking moving the thing.
Yeah, you're too used to not having to do the work, getting it all done for you.
No, it's not that I'm doing the work.
You
It's
put a bit of
just,
elbow grease behind it, son.
I'm doing that, but it's they still feel coated. after it. No, like the plaque. It doesn't get rid of the plaque as much, I don't think.
Right, okay. Well,
That's all
8
I'm
out
saying.
of 10 dentists agree with you, I suppose.
Exactly.
Anyway, so you're staying in all these hotels.
Yeah, no, it was good. I did a bit of everything. Bit of beach, bit of city, the jungle, what have you.
Jungle?
Went
Oh,
to a place
stayed in a
Steve's
jungle?
been. Ning Bing.
Ning Bing, where they filmed King Kong.
Right.
Heard of it?
Ever heard of it?
So what,
Ever heard of Skull
I
Island?
thought they were in King Kong's, in fucking Empire State Building or something.
Yes.
Marc, it's a work of fiction.
Fucking hell, Mark. It starts in there and it moves to.
Starts in the jungle. And
Starts in the jungle. Where do you think he doesn't he come for the Big Apple?
Hey,
does
I'm
he?
walking here.
I thought he was New York born and bred, that guy.
Big slice of pizza walking around.
You just can't get a good pizza in the jungle. So, for somebody, because you've been, right, but for somebody like myself and perhaps many of the listeners who've not been to Thailand and Vietnam, what kind of sites can be offered? Also, the one thing the thing that strikes me is it like, this sounds bad maybe, but is a lot of people that can rob
Great.
you?
Scam
You know
culture.
what? I did say this going in because there is a lot of chat of scam culture. You got scammed on the bus.
Yes, did you?
My mate Martin that went, to the best of my knowledge, I didn't get scammed. Which,
What?
if they did, fair fucks to the boys. Didn't even notice. You know what I mean?
Are you telling me the place you stayed that you have to lift up a shutter wasn't a scam?
That was a sort of self scam. Well, it was a rip off, but it wasn't like it's not like getting money nicked from you. Or whatever.
you weren't expecting a 5-star hotel and you show up and it's a shop.
Yeah.
The shutter and the rats were in the advert when you booked it.
Well, no, I had heard that a lot from people, and then when you research it, there's a lot of that, but we didn't see any of that, to be honest with
No.
you. So yeah, we didn't get any of that. The people were super friendly.
No
Really went out
chancers?
their way. No Highland dancers, as far as I could tell. As far as I could tell, you gotta get up pretty early. Outfox me though.
Did you get when I was there? It was I think an unofficial taxi driver just gave me his number and I would just kind of text him. Did you
Yeah,
get
I'd
that?
yeah. Sunchai was really cool in Thailand.
Aye.
Is that
Sunchai,
some?
the official
Sunchai.
Tuk Tuk taxi driver of the Some Love podcast?
His first name was Some
His name was Sunchai. That was his first name.
boy, some
Some boy. He fucking was some boy, by the way. He was class. He would text me all the time. Hello, taxi today. And I sort of felt like I got to know Sunchai.
Right. So it's a kind of bespoke taxi driver you need to get in these places.
Well,
You
to be
don't need
honest,
to.
they've got an app called Grab, which is like Uber, which is very good, better than Uber,
Yeah.
I'd say. And there's like a Grab Eats as well.
Yep.
But we got him on like Grab, and then he's like, I'll do it cheaper if you're not on the app, so just text me or
Right.
whatever.
I would say
Yeah,
that's,
Everyone wins.
you could say that's scam culture.
We're
Scamming his
scamming
employer.
Apps though.
Yeah,
I'm alright
scam
by
and
that.
grab.
Exactly, yeah.
yeah.
Fair play.
So what do you get up to then? So you go to the jungle,
Took magic mushrooms in the jungle.
took magic mushrooms in the
Yeah.
jungle?
Got shunned for having a wank.
Got shunned for having a wank. Got shunned for wanking off down Connell.
Does your taxi driver get you the magic mushrooms? How do
no.
you source them out there?
Well, I have a friend that lives over there. I won't get him in trouble with the local authorities, but who I've heard are dog shit, the police over there, to be fair.
Right.
Apparently they're at it.
They are.
So can you get is it one of the things if they stop you they'll just like ask you for
Pay
money
them off.
so you don't need to
Yeah.
fucking go to jail?
Because my mate, who used
Kearney.
to live, Kearney, used to live with his pal, and
My friend Dom.
they were. That was a whole story. But he is legally blind in the UK.
Who is?
Kearney,
How come?
because his eyes don't work.
No, but what's
The classic reason.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I met him. He's not got a fucking white stick and bumping about everywhere. What's
He's
got?
like his glasses are so thick when he wears them. He wears contacts, but
Right.
he's not allowed to drive here. Basically, he's legally blind.
He's just got
So
really
he gets like a
strong prescription kind of thing.
aye, but he gets a card to get free transport because he's not allowed to drive
Yeah.
here.
Whereas in
So my
Vietnam, he's
gran-
a taxi driver.
With Vietnam, he drives a moped and he crashed at one time and he just paid off the place.
Really?
So I don't know if he wanted me to tell that story, but
There you go.
it's been told.
There you go. Well, so he's
And my
legally
friend bought me drugs.
he's legally blind driving a fucking moped. That's what I'd be worried about there, or the moped. Did you go on a moped?
Yeah, do you know what though? I always let her drive because she fucking loves it. So
Aye.
I'm the passenger princess in the back. It's her
Nice.
thing. She loves it. I just sit there. I don't care.
That's great.
Yes, yeah, he gone with him. But Yeah, a lot of moped stuff. We didn't have any scrapes on it, but you do hear fucking horror stories.
Aye.
There's a lot of that when you're on islands and stuff. It's just kind of the convenient way to get around. It's fucking mental when you first get to Hanoi, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Like,
Fucking taxis,
the roads are just
cars
insane.
going on like that.
Are they?
But what you realise is, like, I sort of thought, like, it's just the roads are crammed and there's like lorries and there's people on bikes and there's people on mopeds and there's someone just like walking out and putting their hand up and then you just swerve around them and that. And it's a bit like Mario Kart, but
And
with like
bikes-
1,000 fucking
Bikes have like fucking
just 10
things.
foot of like rubbish on top of them, like strapped
God.
to. It's fucking bananas.
Yeah.
And we were sitting in Hanoi at like this main like roundabout, just watching it, and it's like watching the ocean or something. It's like watching fish. Like everyone, it's it's crazy.
Yeah.
But everyone's fucking beeping
Yeah.
constantly,
Yep.
just constant beeping. So you could never know what beep was meant for you. Do you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
constant beeping, and you think everyone's must be raging because
But
in
they're not.
Britain, when you beep, you're fucking raging. So at the beginning, I'm like, these people are mad, like, and then you realize, oh, they're just like communicating with each other, just like, oh, I'm letting you know I'm here, kind of thing. So it's actually
Right.
quite friendly, and everyone's kind of coexisting on the road. Whereas in Britain, everyone's raging, everyone hates cyclists, what have you.
Aye.
It looks mental, but then actually you start to see the method behind the madness.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
quite
a
interesting.
different way of doing it, I suppose.
Did you go in any of those like wee streets where the train goes through and you're having a wee beer and there's a
Yeah, there wasn't a fucking train though. There's basically like
So what's this?
It's just like a train track that goes right through Hanoi, and you can just like we could be sitting having a pint here, and a train could just come.
like beside you?
Like
there's
there's nothing to.
it'd brush past you.
Wow.
But we'd be going quite slow through that street, obviously. But
I
it's,
went with.
This is almost
Dom.
more like a tram.
no, it's a train because it just goes slow through there and then it will go high speed after it's through
It
the
just
street.
trundles through. Like you could just touch it. Do you know what I mean? As it
Fuck's
goes
sake.
by. And we were in this bar that does rice wine, and you can get seal penis rice wine.
Seal penis rice wine.
Yeah, they have like a big jar with a seal penis in it.
I was already getting confused with the rice wine bit, never mind the seal penis.
Yeah, that was woke nonsense to you straight away. But apparently, seal penis is, it's good for your virility and stuff if you're a man. Fills you
Right.
full of spunk.
Is that
But anyway, we were sitting there, but a train didn't come, which is just as well because we had this weird night out where it's like me and Tamsin.
Should have had
Dom.
some seal penis. The train didn't come, and it doesn't matter. I had that. I thought I'll not say it, and I just said it anyway.
I still don't get it.
Yeah,
You said the train never came, and I said you should have had some seal penis.
Got you.
The train then comes.
Got it. Didn't
Did
ejaculate.
the hand gesture help?
It's really solid, actually. But there was like an older couple there that was like someone's mum and dad that knew Dom tangentially, but they weren't even there. So it was like these like older couples with us that none of us knew, and they were fucking smashed. And they were funny, but they were from like fucking Yorkshire or something. And they're like, oh, seeing a son, and they were funny and everything, but it was kind of like banged up Brits abroad vibes. And the dad was so fucked, he fell over and he was just lying on the train track.
Oh my
And I was
god!
like, man, I'm gonna have to pick you up, lad. Like,
Yeah.
fuck me.
Fucking hell.
But
There was.
God.
Did you ever have crickets? Yeah, that's a wee
No,
bar snack.
apparently that is like there's a lot of that in Thailand of like people going around with like like a little fucking thing full of scorpions or whatever. But apparently that's like tourist shit. It's
What,
like
you
we
can
don't
eat?
eat this stuff.
Right.
Like
when
That's
we
your
went
version
to,
of
bugs
deep
and
fried
that.
Mars bar.
there was
exactly
we
that.
went to a few pubs and it was like just dishes sitting out and it's wee deep fried
Really? I
crickets.
never had that. No.
And in Vietnam, man.
See, with Vietnam, is there a lot of stuff? Well, first of all, how westernised is it? And is there a lot of stuff commemorating the war or anything like that? Have they got a McDonald's? And did you go to the War Museum?
Yeah, both.
It's a good question.
Actually, arguably, the McDonald's in Vietnam should be the War Museum.
I think
well,
down south is more.
down south because it was westernised during the conflict.
Yes.
It's more westernised. But by the time we got there on the trip, we'd been travelling for 3 weeks. We were meant to go to Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, but we were like, fuck that, we can't be asked moving again.
Yeah.
So we stayed where we were. So I didn't actually see, I think Saigon would have been probably the most westernised place, but we didn't go there in the end.
Yeah.
Thailand was more kind of set up for it, I would say, than Vietnam. It was more Western. But you can kind of have your cake and eat it. You can have like really authentic local experiences, and also there is a McDonald's and
Aye.
what have you.
Yeah.
But it was sick. I'd really, really recommend it. Had a great time.
Be good to go. Did you get sick at any point with the food or anything like that? I'm always
Get
No.
the shits. No, you didn't.
Not really.
Well, I got the
Not
shits,
notably, really. What
Oh,
were you
hot.
eating? Fucking neck and crickets.
What
all
you
day.
just? I know you said the other crickets.
I didn't eat the
Crickets at
crickets.
McDonald's.
We went down. It was your pal and Kearney took me down to this a wee restaurant down an alleyway, and they were doing chicken. And this guy had a big pair of scissors, and he was just chopping the
Love
chicken, and he was using the same scissors to chop the raw chicken to cook that, and then he'd go up and chop your chicken in half. So I was just eating raw scissor chicken. And then the hot sauce was in like a Sprite bottle
Right.
that had been washed out with a hole in the cap that you'd pour in there. That couldn't have been good.
No.
It looked pretty grotty.
Do you know what? I'm quite gross. I kind of don't mind that.
Well,
Because she fucking hates it, obviously. We did in Chiang Mai, we did like a barbecue thing where you get all the raw meat and you do it yourself. And she was like just talking about getting food poisoning the whole time.
Yeah, I've had the Korean barbecue.
You would fucking
I don't.
hate that.
I don't like Korean barbecue.
I like
'cause
Korean
it's-
barbecue.
I'm always worried about getting.
I don't
poison.
mind. I just think whenever you go into any, like most restaurants are just pulling shit like that.
Right.
You know, like that
Probably.
Anthony Bourdain kitchen confessional or whatever it is. Like,
Mm.
I think chefs are manky and we don't think about it when you sit in a nice place. But when you
That's
actually
true.
see it, you
That's
don't
why they
see
put
it.
those
It's
guys in the
horrible.
back and they have some
Yeah.
nice, waiter or waitress. There's the face in the front, but you wouldn't want to see the guys in the back.
do I say
Actually,
that?
well,
It's
a
like
lot
show
of them.
business.
Yeah, it's like show business. A lot of them, good guys, probably some listeners.
Yeah.
But
High off their
Yeah, I didn't
tits
mean
on
to say
cocaine.
chefs are manky. Is like, I respect chefs
yes,
as a profession.
Chefs are
yeah, I'm
good.
sure some chefs would admit that.
But I didn't.
Not you, but you probably work with something that's manky.
I didn't really get on the
Well,
Sterner stuff and Stevie.
the day after that, the scissor chicken was. I went on a wee boat trip to Halong Bay, and that was some of the worst shites I've ever done in my life.
We're at sea.
For want of a better phrase.
Right.
That's not a good place to have the
you haven't
shit.
squat into the river or whatever.
Almost.
Oh my god.
I would say
Jesus
almost. No, I
Christ.
didn't get to that, but fuck me, that was some bad times.
That's tough.
And then we had to like climb up loads of stairs to get to the top of these wee mountains or whatever the fuck they are. What are they? What are they?
Archipelago, I think.
Something like that.
Google it. It looks cool.
Any scrapes?
Well, I mean, not a scrape, but you just saying that reminded me of we did the cruise on Halong Bay as well, and you don't have any Wi-Fi or internet or anything out there. And obviously, I'm just like twitching like a lab rat trying to get my phone, and like we just like going stir crazy in the cabin, like trying to find things to do. Played hide and seek at one point, just the shit you do to try. And I smashed up a coconut with the hammer that they give you to smash the window. I was losing my mind, but I woke up in the night and I tried
Going
to
back
go.
to primitive man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the beginning of cavemen or whatever. And I was awake in the night and I tried to go on my phone to see if I got anything, and I had like a second of 3G. And the only thing that would load on my phone, I went on Twitter and I could only load one tweet, right? And it was, I don't know if you've seen this, but it's a meme of Ross Kemp, Ross Kemp on Gangs. He's standing there looking serious, and then over the top it says, "Me think me guana take me own life," and that was the only thing on my phone for like 48 hours. It's like the funniest thing in the world.
That's so funny. That is. There's nothing worse than that, is there? Like when you've not got any signal, and just because you're fucking addicted to it, you just keep going on to the same apps.
It's a horrible
and
feeling.
all you can see, you just see the same post like a million
I
times,
know.
and
Yeah.
you
You
just
start
get.
hating the posts. Fuck off, man.
Was your go-to Twitter for that? That one?
No, but
smash?
it's like if I need to check if my phone's working, I'll go on
Twitter.
and hit T on Safari. Will just be my default move.
Right.
Aye.
Okay.
Oh, so have you deleted the X app now?
Yeah, I've
And
not
you're
done
just-
that for years.
On Twitter and
I mean, I'm trying not to do that at all, but that's another story. But I mean, there was scrapes, but it's so crazy that it was such a long holiday that I can barely fucking remember. How it
Aye.
was, you know what I mean?
because what was it, 4 weeks you're away for?
Yeah,
And that's good going.
yeah, it was mad, man. It
But
was
we-
sick. Good celebrity spot. So
No Edmonds.
not quite. So Linda Robson from Birds of a Feather,
Oh.
Which one's that?
the blonde one.
Right.
I saw her.
She's a loose woman.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Well,
Is it? Is that her?
she was
Is
keeping it
someone?
loose at the water park in Phuket. That's where I saw.
Is that right?
Yeah, man.
Linda Robson.
Uh,
Ah. So what's she doing? What's she up to
I
there?
don't know. Well, she was just chilling. She was with her family, being a granny.
Aye, I guess.
What do you know? What I respected. She
Aye.
didn't bother herself with any of the
Oh, yeah.
any of the rides.
Nah.
She'll just pay the £100 just to lie in a sun lounger. That's old school showbiz money.
Fair play.
I was making it count at that water park.
Birds of a Feather was mental because I used to be on all the time when I was young. My mom used to always watch it.
My
And,
mom loved that
like,
shit.
but the
I
I don't
story was
remember it.
the The
That
story
was a more show.
Yeah,
That
'cause
was
in-
like the female to me version of Men Behaving Badly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I would perhaps
Yes.
argue Ab Fab was the
Right.
female Men Behaving Badly.
Yes.
But that was like, what do I do when you are far away? What do I do? That was it.
Was that the bird? Was that a theme tune?
That was a theme tune. But the story was that it was two women and both their men were in a jail.
Is that right?
And that's how they're pals.
Jailbirds?
That's a good idea.
Is that what it is? Jailbirds? Jailbirds of a feather flock together?
Something like that, probably. But
There you go.
But that was the story that their husbands were in jail, I think, and then they were just pals, and I don't know, hilarity ensued.
Their husbands were
Yeah.
Neil Morrissey and Martin Clune.
But also, like,
They
I think
behaved
it
a
was
little
on
too
just
badly.
during the day. It wasn't like a pure night. I think it was on just like in the morning or the afternoon.
I
or
don't
something.
remember what happened in it. I remember
No.
watching it a bit as a kid, but I don't remember.
What?
Nah, it was an evening show, surely.
Maybe
I
it
thought
was
like a
repeated in
BBC
the
One
morning.
comedy. Like,
Yeah, I think it was repeated
9
in the
o'clock.
morning.
Yeah.
job.
I remember it in the afternoons, but maybe I'm wrong.
Sadly,
Maybe
I
you
never
had
got
the
to
box
speak to.
set on, perhaps.
I don't. Box sets didn't even exist back then. That's a long one going back.
Videotapes.
Nah, it was on the tape. It was a repeat. It was a repeat.
It was like,
Every badge that you fill.
that's like saying, Frasier was a morning show.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like I just remember it being on during the day. So, but because it's like I don't think it'd have been that raunchy, so you probably could show it during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas if you're showing them the men in the jail, that'd have been another story altogether.
Porridge, that might have been shown.
That would definitely have been shown.
Yeah,
during
only
the day.
Fools and Horses. That was never off during the day.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
But
she
when
was
this country meant something,
she was just kicking about then, was she?
just having a great time like the rest of us.
That's good enough.
Also, it's funny that we got in one of the rides at the water park. And it was one of those it's like a big communal kind of whatever you call it, like a dinghy kind of thing. And there was like these 5 Chinese lads behind us. They were like, I don't know, 17. These lads having a laugh, and like you can only have 4 of them, 4 people in one thing. So like one of them had to go with us, and it was like quite funny. Like, oh god, who's it going to be? And we're having a laugh together and all that. And it just made me kind of think of like how precious you get when you're at home about your identity of like where you're from, what that means about you, your class, how you talk, all this kind of, you speak to Glaswegians like yeah, but you're from the wrong bit of Glasgow or whatever it is, and then you meet a Chinese kid on holiday and he goes, where are you from? And you go, the UK, and he goes, oh, Harry Potter. yeah, man, you've nailed me. I am Harry Potter.
Alright guys, Marc here, just to remind you that tickets are on sale now for my first ever stand-up tour of the UK and Ireland. I'll be all over the country in the summer of 2025 with dates including Glasgow, Edinburgh, Aberdeen, Dundee, Perth, Manchester, Liverpool, Leeds, Newcastle, Derry, Dublin, Belfast, Cork, Birmingham, Brighton and London. If you're in any of those cities and would like to see me live, I'd love to have you there. The podcast listeners are always the best audience members to come out to the shows. You always sound as fuck, so I'd love to see you there. And it's my new show that I'm taking on tour called Marxism. I think it's my best yet. So if you've enjoyed any of my stuff that you've seen online, you enjoyed the podcast, you maybe not seen me do stand up before, please come along. I'd love to see you there. Get a wee ticket in time for Christmas if you want to give it as a gift to somebody who listens to the pod, one of your pals, or just for yourself, treat yourself to the gift of laughter this Christmas. But hopefully see you there, guys. And aside from that, enjoy the rest of the episode.
Did you go? Would you not say Scotland? Would you not think?
Do you say German Mao or
Depends who I'm
something?
talking to. Usually I just go to the UK. More straightforward.
I would say Scotland
Then
and
if I
then
get
UK.
speaking to someone a wee bit more, I'll go, by the way, I'm Scottish. I'm not like that lot.
Yeah, because when we were in New York, there was a guy from a wee island, I can't remember, and he was like, where are you from? And we said Glasgow first, and he went, what is that? And
What
we
the
said
fuck is
Scotland, and then he said nope. And
Keep going.
And then I said UK, and he went no, and I went, oh, what the
Whoa.
fuck? That doesn't happen. And I said, well, near England, and he said, oh, England. And he went, and we said, no, not England, but
Say that you-
near it.
you-
He didn't know the UK, but he knew England.
Was this
That's
guy
weird.
American?
No, he was from a wee island, like maybe.
I
Like
thought
a
when
wee-
you said we, I was expecting a wee island in Scotland at first.
No, like a Caribbean island. Or something.
this guy.
He's like, Glasgow and that. Drawing a blank here, mate.
It was like from a wee like this Solomon Islands. Is that a place?
Yeah.
Probably.
Something like that.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, Aye, that's weird that we didn't know the UK.
You didn't know the UK, but you knew England.
No, I know it's funny that
Crazy.
Crazy.
yeah, when it gets that, well, it's like that old Daycaster routine about Mr. Bean is like the pure go-to
Yeah.
for the UK, isn't it?
People
Harry
say
Potter.
Brexit now if they're European.
I wonder what they would
Yeah.
say if you said Scotland. I wonder if they would, because
It's
surely
just like
people in
whiskey.
China must know shit about Scotland. They're just the usual stuff, the kilt and castles and bagpipes and all that kind of shit.
Yeah,
I think it's whiskey. They got a lot of whiskey over there. A lot of Scottish whiskey.
yeah.
Aye.
Um,
Although Japan's big for whiskey as well. Maybe in China they get mainly Japanese stuff.
Japanese.
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
What would you say the go-to Chinese thing would be? If I was as
Something
Harry Potter.
racist, probably.
No.
Well, I mean, you can't just say food
What
or
they're
something.
like big export kind of thing.
Aye.
What would you say to?
Hawaii.
I wouldn't
Sweet
think
and
of
sour
that, to be honest.
chicken.
The like
Yeah,
chicken buzz.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It was something
Chicken
wee-
buzz.
something stupid like that. Like the weed thing. He's like, we talking about.
Yeah. Chinese and Scottish people could just batter would be the
Yeah,
glue that holds us together.
That's
Even though
true,
they
yeah.
don't eat that shit, I know. But
No.
that's true. I would say like a some sort of technological thing. Like I said Hawaii, but that's maybe like a
plastic.
Toshiba. Not Toshiba's probably Japanese, isn't it?
Fuck knows. Wouldn't care to
You just
guess.
be like,
TikTok.
just get your fucking label for your t-shirt. Hey!
TikTok's
yeah,
Chinese.
TikTok, I suppose. But you know, I suppose it's so ubiquitous, so that you wouldn't necessarily,
Yeah.
you know. I fuck knows, but
Fuck knows.
we don't actually know that
Fuck knows.
much about China. That's the thing. Funny enough, actually,
Firewall.
last
I'd go the Great Wall of China. That's what I'd say.
so there's a. I was listening
Yes.
to a podcast about this thing, and then I seen it advertised in none other than Blackfriars, where we do gigs. So there's a stage show called it's something like Shenzhen or something, right? And it's meant to be China before communism. Have you seen this?
They're doing like flips and all that.
Aye,
sort of
it's
stuff.
like a kind of mad thing, but it's like this
So
sort.
the commies came and stopped you doing flips.
But it's like this pure weird, like it's all caught up in these like weird sort of. It's just a like, it's a kind of strange like. There's this sort of.
It's an art. It's
No, but the show, the people who run the show, it's like, it's this. There's a lot of dodgy stuff behind it, basically, and it's just weird how it's now just coming to Scotland and like I think it's kind of like almost like if there was like a Chinese version of like Mormonism or something. It's kind of similar to that. It's or Scientology or something. It's kind of like weird thing with that, but and it's obviously a kind of political thing. So I think it's probably banned in China because obviously.
Right.
They're like saying, "Oh, you know,
It's anti-establishment.
yeah," but and it's like I think a lot of it's just like kind of harkening back to an idea of China that probably was never true and stuff like that. But it's just that like it's like a weird sort of thing that just pops up and then it's just like a bunch of old grannies or whatever will go and watch it. But
Because I've seen it advertised in the telly.
I've not seen
yeah.
anything about it.
yeah. So it's like,
sure,
if you
like-
look, I don't know that much about it, but I was listening to a podcast about it and I was like, it seems fucking mental, man.
Catherine's mom was like, "Oh, that looks great. That looks
Well,
brilliant."
she already
Absolute
loves her
mob
Korean
bitch.
telly, doesn't she?
That's true. That's true.
But that's who'd go to it. It's like pure, your like people's parents and just like pure, it's just like pure random like sort of.
They've just seen an advert whilst watching Lost Women, and they're like, "Well, let's go to that."
Exactly, 100%.
I went to the circus in Vietnam, and it was full of old gins and all.
What was it? What was the
Oh,
show
yeah.
like?
It's kind of like acrobatics and stuff, I suppose. A lot of stuff with sticks, a lot of stick work.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of kind of. I mean, it was very impressive.
Yeah,
But it,
No
like, there was no
animals?
story, no animals. A lot of
MD,
chanting.
MD on a tightrope.
Nah, none of that shit. It was more like more artsy than
If I
that.
went
And
to
the
the-
animals, did you say?
No, no,
If
no.
I
I'd
went to
be-
the circus, I'd want to see an elephant on
It
a
was like
bar.
an acrobatic performance. There was no bearded ladies, none of that stuff.
None of that.
None of the good stuff.
Come on.
Short change.
I want to see an elephant on a bar, and I want to see a fucking lion tamer.
Yeah.
When's the last
minimum.
time you went to the circus?
When
I
I
think
was
I've been
about 10.
once
When
when I
Once
was
when I was
a kid
about
and
10,
all,
aye.
I know.
And it was in fucking south side of Glasgow. It was shite.
Yeah. I don't
People
remember what
spinning
mine was, but I
plates,
don't
Polly
imagine it
Shield
was that far
circus.
away.
It was pish.
Yeah, but you'd want to see some animals for sure.
I know, even though it's cruel, there's obviously cruelty in the circus.
Listen, it's a cruel world.
The circus is a toxic work environment. I'm certain of that.
I don't think they're treating the workers that well either, to be honest, probably.
But no, probably not. Probably not. But it's quite a big deal in the circus in Vietnam, I think, isn't it? Or it's quite
I guess so. I don't know.
quite big. When I was there was a wee guy, the guy who scammed me actually, he was called Sia, and that's Vietnamese for circus, and it's because his parents met at the circus, and that was his nickname or something
So
like that.
you get named
He's a
after
proper
where your
little-
parents met.
Aye. But no, it was his nickname though, it wasn't his real name, I don't
right,
think.
aye.
But and then we'd always say, circus family, come along, circus family, that we were his circus family.
That sounds like he just didn't want to tell you his real name because he knew he was going to scam.
Gonna get that's probably true actually. Looking back, that's definitely
I like the
this.
fact that you kind of look back fondly on that guy that scammed you. Like,
Yeah.
It was great
you
though.
still kind of believe him.
I know it was because he'd done it with such a smile, and I thought it was a good laugh. And he's just trying to make a buck from a stupid tourist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let him have
play.
it.
Aye, it was fucking what, 100 dong,
What's that in this economy? Nothing.
13p something like
Yeah.
that. Fucking have it, mate.
Have
Dong,
it.
is that what their currency is?
Vietnamese dong, yeah.
Aye.
We'll leave it at that.
Seal penis dong.
They love it.
I like the sound of this place.
Greg
Did you-
Wallace can do his rehab tour over there.
People.
Did Gary Glitter not move to Vietnam?
I think so. I think he's somewhere like
That's
that.
weird, isn't it?
Didn't they say him? Wasn't at the water park.
Imagine seeing Gary Glitter in the morning for once a feather.
At the water park.
Didn't know you two were pally.
Oh, dear.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, speaking of the water park / Gary Glitter,
Uh-huh.
there was a guy at the water park. I think this is bang out. Weirdest looking cunt you've ever seen in your life for starters, but he had a GoPro camera on his head
Can't
and he's
be
just
doing
filming
that.
all day long.
At
Can't
the
be
water
doing
park.
that at a water
Everyone's
park.
like naked essentially. It's fucking kids running around.
Yeah,
Aye,
in the
kinda-
UK, questions would be getting asked, I think.
Can't be
Honestly,
doing
he
that.
looked like a fucking Will Ferrell, like Tim Heidecker kind of character as well. He had like Oakley sunglasses, like baseball cap, had this weird like wet like fucking thin hoodie thing that was all different colours and that. Proper like, you know, like the cliche of like check their hard drive kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the cliche exists for a reason.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But the people often say, like, when they go and do these big trips, you know, broadens your horizons, travel, all that kind of stuff. Did it give you a different perspective on things, or was it just nice to have a break, Stu?
Well, both, I think. Yeah, yeah. Great to have a break, but I think it does. I think travel definitely does broaden your horizons, and especially that's my first time out of Europe. So, you know, like a totally different culture. You know, even if some of it's westernized,
Yeah.
it's cool to, to experience a new culture, and it makes you reflect on your own. And you know, obviously they don't get everything right, but there's a lot of it where you're like, fuck, like I wish it was more like that over here.
Yeah.
You know, like.
What like, for example?
Just like I don't know, everyone just seems happier for a start. Like
Mhm.
maybe it's the weather, I don't know, but like it just seems like most people a lot of the time are fucking miserable here because things are so hard.
Yeah.
Cost of living crisis. We've been taken for cunts for so long.
And
by
yet
the
we've got all
government.
these, you know, we've got a lot of luxury.
But we've
you
got
know,
so
we can
much
charge your
more
fucking
riches,
electric
you know.
toothbrushes.
Toothbrush.
Exactly,
That's
wherever you
true.
want.
Yeah.
That's true.
Whereas people seem a lot friendlier over there.
Mm.
Also, people just hang out more. Like there's just like more of a kind of like. You know, there's just like in Vietnam, whatever you see at the side of the road, there's just like 4 6-year-old lads doing karaoke together or whatever, like tea
Yeah.
time or whatever. It's just like people are just hanging out and socialising and
N-
everyone's coexisting.
And it's not uncommon for boy pals to hold hands.
Is that right?
Did you notice that?
Did Si tell you that?
Sia?
Sia.
Karen told me that, I think.
Sia told you that as he had a £50 note in his hand.
Tell me about the ladyboys.
I did see a ladyboy doing a Mai Tai fight.
Oh, really?
I went to this Mai Tai boxing thing in Chiang Mai. And it wasn't like a ladyboys thing, they just happened to be at one of them was a ladyboy.
Right.
fighter. Which I don't really want to get into, but I don't understand where ladyboys come into the whole.
The trans.
It's kind of its own thing. isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
I don't actually. I just don't get it.
No.
But that was cool. That was interesting. That was kind of the only bit of that I saw.
Aye.
But that was also the only place where in Chiang Mai, which I really liked, as I say, it was very cool. But there's like one bit, like a different Mai Tai place where there's like loads of bars and it felt like a strip, and it's just like the cliche of what you'd imagine of like loads of British guys that look like Greg Wallace with young Thai women.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
copy and pasted, in all these bars,
Aye.
which is like hard to not feel grimy about,
Well, at least you were there with your partner. I
Yeah.
feel like if you're to go travelling solo,
Yeah.
you can't, it's hard to beat the allegations.
And,
That's
true.
Fair enough,
fucking
whatever
is,
you want
yeah.
to do, I suppose. But anyway, what's been happening with you, Stevie? What's
What's
come
going
under
on,
the
sir?
boil?
not as much as Stu. He's been travelling the world. I've been doing gigs and done Queen of the New Year.
All right,
Couple of
coming
weeks
out
ago.
on
Hogmanay.
of course.
Hogmanay, yeah.
Yeah.
That was good fun. Stu wrote a sketch for it that me and Martin were in.
Yeah, jobs to the boys.
Yep.
All right.
Oh,
Can we get
I'm
a
surprised if it'll be in it.
It was good. It's a
can we
good
get a
sketch.
preview of what it might entail?
Don't know if
It's-
we're allowed or was kind
Well, I
of.
don't know.
Aye. Aye, say it
No.
if you want.
All right.
It's Jesus coming back to distance himself from Russell Brand.
Ah, that's good.
It's a good sketch.
That's good.
It's a clear comedic premise.
Absolutely. I like that. Well, I look forward to seeing that.
Yep.
What else is going on?
Not much. When we were doing that, I met John McKay.
Wow, I'd love to meet John McKay.
STV News fame, mate. Yeah, me too. I was saying to Steve as well. I once done this video and there was a bit that John McKay was in, and I described him as the increasingly balding John McKay because I was blown away at the time by how, because I remember him with thick head of hair, and then I was blown away by how, and then you go to it and it's like you can see. But I feel like that was I was below the belt. I feel bad. I want to publicly apologise to John McKay because I do think he's a great guy. I love him as a newsreader, and yeah, I would love to
Nothing
meet
wrong
him
with
too.
being bald either.
There's nothing wrong with
Nothing.
being bald. Of course, he's embraced it, if anything,
Yeah.
you know.
And he's kind of he's a mum, like mums love him. I think my mum likes
Housewife's
him.
favourite for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catherine likes him.
Big strapping guy.
Yeah, well, he's
It's the
authoritative.
voice, isn't it? Exactly.
Yeah.
I am John McKay, and this
this.
is
Yes,
STV
I'll
News.
take the bins out hen.
And that is a euphemism. But he was
He was
good.
brand new.
Aye.
He was very funny. And he, we Chris Toll,
Yes.
So for the people who don't know Chris Toll, he's a very funny guy, and he's quite out there though. He's like quite cheeky, you could say, perhaps.
Yeah.
Went up to John McKay, was like, John, I love you. Remember that time you fucked up on the news? And then John
Probably
was
went
like,
home with that.
John was like, and I don't remember that. And he was like, I've got a video of it. So he took out his phone,
Fuck's sake.
and he was like, John like said the wrong thing, and he was like, oh, sorry, that was the wrong story there, and then moved on to the next thing. And you just hear like Chris laughing in the background, going, ah.
Wait, has he recorded himself?
He's
laughing
recorded
at it?
himself. Aye.
So it's not even like the actual footage, it's just him recording his
It's
telly.
the telly.
He's recorded the telly, aye, and then him in the background going, ah, John McKay. And then he showed him it, and John was like, thanks for that.
That is fucking wild,
That
man.
was great. That was
That's
great. But
unbelievable.
they seem to get on well.
That's great. Well, that's a good way to break the ice.
So he was in a
That's
sketch, was he?
He was in a sketch, and he was very funny in it, actually.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Great.
I'm John McKay. This is STV News. So yes, that'll be in Hogmanay. So you're in it. You're not in it this year, Stu?
No, I wrote a little for it.
A wee bit for it, and interesting.
What have you been up to?
Well, I've just been doing some gigs and stuff like that as well.
You done a gig with a couple of famous people yourself?
Well, Frank McAvennie, I've done a gig with.
There you go.
The two biggest shaggers in Scotland, finally. No.
And
his wasn't-
Mearnsey as well. He's a bit of a
Mearns is the
shagger.
biggest shagger. Mearns, can I say, it was absolutely brilliant at this gig, right? It was for Preston Pans Hib Supporters Club. Lovely gig. People were great. Raymond, because it's like, in that environment, like, we're a bit, out of our comfort zone, I would say. Raymond, it was like, he was just so...
At home.
He was so at home, and he was brilliant with everybody. He's like, he knows a lot. I think he's done it for years. He knows them all. And he went up. He was so fucking funny. He had some brilliant stuff. Like, he actually said, because McAvennie was running late. And so Raymond got up at the start and he says, he's like, well, we're about 5 or 10 minutes late because Frank's stuck in traffic. Well, that's what he says. He probably seen some woman at the side of the road, pulled over and bumped on her. It's so many good lines like that. But it was mad because, like, here, seeing these type of gigs, right, it's always weird because I'm always like feeling, what am I doing here, right? Because sometimes, something like Raymond, he's so
Money,
at home
that's
there.
why they're there.
Well, money I'm there, of course. But you're kind of more thinking other people are looking at me going, who the fuck's that or why is he here? Because at the top, so we're at the top table.
Do you have
It's
to have
like at
dinner
a
and
fucking
everything?
wedding, right?
Yeah.
Not only did we have to have dinner,
Suiting up.
we got piped in. Like, because before it, Graham's like, well, we're going to go get piped in. And I'm like, all right. And I'm just thinking that's like just
A
some
phrase.
There's
That's
literally
Raymond being Raymond.
a guy with bagpipes. So we all leave and then come back in and go, okay, all raise for the top table.
Fucks.
What the
And we
fuck?
get there's a guy with bagpipes playing, and me and Raymond and this guy that was like, he played for Celtic in like the 70s. He was like a Hibs lad, Pat Stanton, his name is. He was a lovely guy. And then like McAvennie, and we all get piped in, and I'm like, everybody else in the room knows all these people except me. I'm the only one who don't know, and I just feel so awkward, and I'm like getting piped in, and I'm like, I'm probably going to die mass here, right? But it was fine actually. But it's mad, right? Because so Pat Stanton's this like legendary guy for Hibs and all that. He was Alex Ferguson's assistant at Aberdeen. Say Jockstein was his manager at Celtic, fucking, you know, bad Hibs legend and all that. And then so he's just telling us all these stories, right? And then like it's so weird though, because then you're just sitting at a table and like he's pure eyeing up he's like, we're talking about the sticky toffee, that'll be good and all that. And so then when the pudding came, I like turned around to Pat, I'm like, how's the pudding, Pat? And he's like, oh, it's lovely. You know? Like, it's good. But then but McAvennie comes in and he was brand new, very McAvennie, I would say. Like it was good chat. Like sometimes the waitress would go by and he'd be like,
Fuck.
so then he was kind of like, I should have known. Like, it was so funny.
It's worse than Greg Wallace.
No, it's appropriate, and it's
You sure it wasn't Johnny Watson dressed up as Frank McAvennie?
well, it's so weird because like he's so known through the Only an Excuse thing and being that character that it's like, yeah, he's almost like Johnny Watson is almost more Frank McAvennie than Frank McAvennie. But he was brand new, and he told us a story. I think he said this on podcasts and stuff. He never done it in his speech, but he was telling me that so back in the day when he played for West Ham and then he came up to Celtic, and I think he was like engaged to a page 3 model or something at the time in London, right? So when he would like that's also is like a pure sign of the times of like what football's like back then compared to now. But like, so after the games on a Saturday at Celtic, he would just like fly down to London and just party all weekend. And I think he used to just go to like George Best's like restaurant and pure the bro just getting steaming and all the rest of it, right? And then he said he would always get fined because he'd fly back for London on like a Monday morning to get into training for Celtic, and he was always getting fined because he would be late because he's like he's fucking up till 6 in the morning on a Sunday or whatever. Right? And he said what he done was he was sick of getting fined, so there used to be a guy that like the helicopter in Glasgow that would like for Clyde One and all that would go about telling people about the traffic. They'd be like, oh, there's a tailbacks in the M8 and blah blah blah. They do that for Clyde One. So Frank McAvennie hired that guy and got special dispensation from Glasgow Airport for him to get picked up by the guy in the helicopter and flown to Barrowfield for Celtic train. And Billy McNeil was his manager at the time. And they said like apparently all the guys were saying like Billy McNeil's going off. He's like, he's fucking late again, fuck's sake, Frank, blah blah blah. And then did you see this fucking helicopter fucking land down on the training field? And he said he'd got somebody to like leave his kit on the Friday and all that, so he's letting the kit and fucking jumps in the helicopter. Like, that is fucking legendary. And like some of his stories were fucking brilliant. Like it was interesting seeing him doing a set, and like it was really, the stories were great. And
is he just telling stories from his past?
From his days, like kind of goes through his career, but obviously like probably like almost nobody else, he's got like such amazing like stories about his personal life and all that stuff as well. And
they're talking about shagging and stuff.
Aye, big time, and like it was good, but like done in quite a it was done in a good tasteful way. Like he's a wee bit of cheeky chappy.
I think he's had help with him, like Stuart Mitchell or someone.
It feels like, yeah, I think you could see there's a few punchlines thrown in there and stuff, but I think a lot of the stories are just true, and like but it's no, it was great. And it's mad though, because like pure, I mean, my dad's like, he was at that. This was Frank McAvennie. The big game for him at Celtic was like 1988 Scottish Cup final against Dundee United, and he scored and Celtic won. It was their centenary year and all that. And my dad was at Hampden, and he's got that top in the house and all that. So I'm like, it's just weird. You're just sitting there. I'm like, it's mad. I'm just sitting next to this guy, and then like I'm literally because the one thing they were saying about the running order. And he was doing to going first, and then me, and then I was like, no, like you need to have Frank last. And then so I went up and I did say that to the crowd. I'm like, I'd said I wanted to go first because I didn't want Frank McAvennie's sloppy settings. But no, it was a good day. you're no long back in the country before it's revealed that you have made the lists Hot 100.
100. Yet again, third year in a row? Fourth?
Yeah, on the 3-peat, yeah.
Now,
Match ball.
Wow.
Steve,
Someone's gotta be hot.
did you make the list this year?
Not this year. I made it alongside Stu 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I believe that was
I
when
recall
What's
that,
the
yeah.
Script was in it.
And it's prime.
the same year
At the
that
peak
this
of its
came out.
powers.
And I think at that point you hadn't released an episode in months.
Yep.
Okay, so Stuart McPherson, number 59.
You're
Yes.
going up.
We'll get into the
Go up in the
arbitrary
world.
nature of the list in a minute.
There's nothing arbitrary about it.
So the list is this magazine, for people that don't know, it's probably almost all of you, that once a year tries to cling on to some semblance of relevance by putting this...
You're not better about it though, are
I'm
you,
not
Jennings?
on I wouldn't want to be on the list, right? But what I found interesting
I've
about...
got my own list.
I've got my own list, and I tell you
List
what,
of
they're no
cunts.
fucking on it, right? So, number 59, Stuart McPherson,
I know what's coming here.
with some laugh, staging its biggest ever live show yet at the Glasgow's Pavilion Theatre. McPherson's podcast with Marc Jennings and Stephen Buchanan has established itself as the place for local and touring comics to promote themselves. So what I had perhaps assumed was that maybe these people... Here's how I think
They must really hate you.
this list. I assumed there's probably 3 people left working at the list, right? This dying medium. And they probably only know about music stuff. It seems, I guess that's what it is. And so they sit about and they go, right, who's, whatever. I just assumed, perhaps Stephen, that whoever it is putting this list together, maybe they just don't know about us. Maybe they don't know about the podcast. Maybe, perhaps, they just fancy Stu and they put him in that, right?
We can't rule that out.
That's probably, they can't really rule that out. But yeah, it turns out, so they know about Some Laugh, they know about the Pavilion, and they certainly know about me and you. And yet,
We have been omitted.
nowhere to be seen. And if they think for a second they can placate us by mentioning our names midway through your fucking thing, got another thing coming.
I was, I've been
But
tipped
thanks
off
for all that
I was
work
on
putting
the
the
list.
Pavilion show together.
I slaved night and day on that. The funny thing is, as well, the next thing it says is like, and he returns this year in Queen of the Year. Wrong. No, don't.
I'm in Queen of the
Insult to
fucking New
injury.
Year.
I wrote that fucking one sketch.
Yeah, he also returns this year.
By the way,
BBC
I've not been
schedule,
running around saying I'm in it, by the way. I don't know where they've got that from.
and is announced his first UK. Yeah, so yeah,
And then the
Steve-
last 3 words is like, oh, and he's going on tour.
yeah.
Which you're doing as well.
Aye.
Yeah.
So
You've got about fucking 4 dates. I'm fucking 15.
It's a shorter tour than what you're doing, yeah.
So yeah, that's what adds insult to injury. Yeah, Steve is actually in Queen of the New Year.
to be fair though, we've got 2 out of the 3. I've got 2 out of the 3. You've got 2 out of the 3. You've got all 3. So that's where it comes in. You've not been in Queen of the New Year. I'm not going on tour. You're doing the lot.
I'm doing a lot.
No, you're not in.
You're
doing
doing
the
the
full
lot.
shebang to a degree.
To a great degree.
To a degree, I'm doing it all. To a lesser extent, I'm doing everything. And that's what makes you up.
To be fair.
That is the most apt quote. To a lesser degree of doing it. But yeah, so right. Here's the thing with this. So that was funny, obviously. But the thing with this list in general, right? There's no rhyme or bloody reason to it.
I think it's spot on. I think that's how I'd have the list.
Everyone is in its place.
Yeah, I've not looked at it, but I agree.
59. First of all, I
So
would
you're
say,
hotter than David Tennant?
well,
Yeah,
here's
they always
the
put
thing.
someone good at 100, so you don't feel bad being 99.
Art
That's
is
my
very
theory.
arbitrary,
That's a
so
good
I've got a list here of some of the comic people that made it. So number 1 in the Hot 100 list.
Don't need to say them all.
Was of course, yeah, no, we won't. But
Big
Richard Gadd, right? Which you can't, you
Yeah, the
can't,
big hair.
you can't argue with that.
Can't
Big
argue with
hair,
that.
biggest
Netflix.
Netflix show. Nobody's grumbling with that, right?
Nah.
Stuart was actually the last out of the comedians listed at 59. Roscoe was in just ahead of you at 55. Marilyn Robertson was number 30 last year. He's arguably had a much bigger year this year.
No,
Is
I
now
thought,
49.
I thought she was.
Last
I thought she was
year
8
she's
or something.
top
last
10.
year.
Maybe
last
it's,
year?
well, this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
going off Chortle, who never
Are
usually gets stuff
frequently
wrong.
wrong.
Yeah, so Marilyn Ray. But here's the thing.
Imagine getting that wrong. Like, of all the errors to make, that is
Yeah.
just—it's a numerical
there.
list.
Yeah.
It's
Right,
there.
here's a good example, right? So at number 23 was our good friend Ray Bradshaw, right?
Yeah.
Who lists that he's the host of BBC Radio Scotland's Off the Ball. Number 26,
Sort of.
3 places behind him, Armando Iannucci.
Who's that?
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying,
He
like-
couldn't host off the ball.
Aye.
Ray Bradshaw
I think he
could do
probably-
vape, but Armando Iannucci couldn't do it.
I think
Has
Armando
Iannucci
Iannucci,
ever-
he probably did used to do off the ball or something.
Oh, really?
No, maybe
he
not
doesn't
off the
like
ball,
football.
but-
Famously, he did that sketch.
What's that?
You know his football sketch.
Oh, right.
Has Iannucci ever been on Breaking the News? I think not.
As
No.
if wouldn't he know breaking news if it's slapped in the face?
So, here's my question to the list, right? Who are listening? I know you fucking know us. I know you know who we are. But anyway.
It would be good if they put like under Bradshaw and Marilyn and all that.
Love
They've
their
been on
Some
some
Laugh
laugh.
I know. Every person is Susan McKay, known for her appearances on the Some Laugh podcast. And blah, blah. But right, so by the way, CMB's not even on the list.
Yeah, that's
Aye, shite.
he done the Kings
Yeah,
this
the
year.
fucking
That's-
big. Yeah, the shit with the
In the pavilion,
guillotine
he's
as
got
well.
fucking guillotine, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just like, what is the criteria? There's no rhyme or
No being
reason.
a specky wee gimp. That's got to be part of the criteria. Was Kaz Milligan on there?
Kaz Milligan was not on there. Fucking geek. I would argue that Kaz
John
Milligan.
McKay there.
I think that booking a fight against Nacho Novo and then having it cancelled at the
That's
Hydro.
fucking king shit.
That's hot.
That's enough to get you in a hot 100 in Scotland.
It's
That's
certainly what
sexy.
made me have heard of the guy. That's got to count for something.
That is hot.
He'd been my hot 100.
Was Paul Black on it?
I don't think so. So like you're going Larry Dean's at 38. You know what I mean? It's like you're going like Fern is at 34.
Fern was high up last year.
She was number 2 overall last year.
Yeah.
She's since released a Netflix special and won
Well,
the
she's
Nero
fucking
Award. for
dropped off. That's what I'm hearing.
that. Well, that's so like you're going. There's no rhyme. What is the point in this? And I'll tell you what the point is. I will tell you what the point is, right?
I can't believe you're showing your ass like this.
Look, here's
This
the
is
thing.
like Greg Wallace being like, certain women of a certain
certain
age.
women of a certain age who put this list together. No.
Certain
Here's
publications.
the thing, right? I should say, I don't care about this at all. But
Would it be nice to be involved in it?
no,
Jenny?
I'm going to say
No.
I never
No.
want to be on that stupid
He's a
fucking hot 100 list.
conscientious objector.
I was, to be fair, invited to the party and I would have went if I didn't have something better on. But
I didn't go either.
don't ever
I didn't go either because
put
I
me on
wasn't
that. I don't want to be on
invited.
it. I don't want to be
Do you
on
know
it.
why I'm not going to be on the list next year? Is they always ask me to like perform
Yeah,
at
to
it,
do
and
the
I always
show.
say no.
Which actually is, I think they're quite bad for that. Do they not say, if you don't do this set here, then we're going to review you
Well,
back?
they've not said that to me. No, I don't.
Well,
think they're
here's
like that.
here's my argument, right? Now, back in the day when print media was relevant whatsoever, which is
Which-
not anymore,
In my opinion, is currently.
it used to be, right? So I would imagine, if you're into music, you read NME, the hot 10 new artists of 2002 or whatever the fuck it is, right? That mattered. Now, when's the only time you ever hear about the list? It's when they put this out, right? Because they now use this as a way to stay relevant. It used to
Yeah,
be
it's a
back in
good
the
idea.
day. These publications,
We're all talking about it.
but these publications used to be a way where you could get discovered. They would put you on. Now they want us to put them on by
Sharing
going,
it and
oh,
stuff."
Stuart, you're number 59 on the thing. Can you share this on Instagram? Which you have done. That's why I've got the screenshot right in front of me. But do you know what I mean? It's like, it's so ass backwards now that like they are like trying to remain relevant by, this is the only thing that, when you're reading the list, you know what they do. But like so they now are,
Let him go. Let him go.
they are now trying to be relevant by putting these things together. And it's like with the fucking, do you know what does it as well? It's-
Steve's laughing because he's been on the list. He knows it feels good.
It feels fucking great.
It's-
I
but
would
it's-
love to be back on
it's all
Please
I
fucking
liked
Please.
it when we were on it
bullshit.
together and Marc was omitted solely. That was funny as fuck. And Sam Laugh has really taken off as well. And we had like
That's
the
it.
nichest
we
podcast.
probably had more listens in the fucking 3 months we'd been going than your
Marriage,
fucking
this is a stupid
movie
what a shite.
podcast.
There was the scripts for the real heads, man.
Correct.
So all I'm saying
Correct.
is that, like, yeah, these what's the point in putting these together when they're arbitrary, completely ridiculous and
In your
meaningless?
opinion.
But it's like when they do the best joke of the Fringe, they do
I
it
love that as
so
well.
that people
That's great.
get,
I love that.
that people get annoyed because they go, "This is shite. This doesn't make any sense. Why is this? This is bad," and then that generates content. And yes, I'm delivering it by doing this, but we've also got content to fill. We need to fill there. And what I would say is just in a phrase, the list top 100 hot people of the year is a stupid lot of shite.
Hot people of the year.
Whatever fucking
this is the
bullshit.
most like 6 pints after a gig fucking tirade I've ever fucking heard.
But I want to reiterate, I never want to be on your stupid fucking list. Don't put me on
good,
it.
because they never fucking have you anyway. Everyone's happy.
Is this like are you playing mind games here? Are you doing like don't put me
Imagine
on it?
he's
So
number
All
one
I'm
next
trying
year
to do-
and walk it back.
What I'm really trying to do is implicate the two of yous by proxy so that yous are never on
Trying
the
to
list
fucking
again.
take us down because you can't see us being happy.
we would like to distance ourselves from Mark's comments here.
I'm sure that these people think they're well intentioned.
These
but
people, the shadowy cabal.
the shadowy cabal. Where are these decisions being
These
made
people.
from? And I just feel, I just want to,
The unseen hand.
the unseen hand that's putting this together. Who's the wee backslapping,
in the seat of power. on
Aye.
the list.
How much money did they once do? That's what I want to know.
Conversations in the corridors.
But I would like to know how they think.
I do always think things like that, like it is funny to be like, how do you have the conversation that like I'm better than David Tennant or whatever? Do you know what I mean? Like how what is the conversation?
What's going on?
I think
can
it
only-
is right that you said that you probably put like your David Tennant at 100, so
There's
everyone.
always someone good at 100. I've beaten Paolo Nutini, I've beaten the Proclaimers. I've beaten David
Yeah,
Tennant.
because then people read that and they go, "Oh, if they're at 100, then who the
If you
fuck's
don't
number
wanna be
one?"
at like if I was at 100, it would look harsh. Do you know what I mean? Because like I can't defend myself.
Also, no offense, but if an average punter looked at that and 100's at the top and it's Stuart McPherson, they go, "Who the fuck's that?"
Yeah.
But if it's David Tennant, they go, "Oh, number
God.
one must be fucking
Imagine how
amazing."
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just like I feel like that is because we know that's how it works at the Fringe as well. Isn't it? Where like people pay to get PR to get put on.
I want to say for the
shows at
record, I've
Fringe.
never paid for PR for anything ever.
Yeah.
So this is
For
just
But people do, and so like these while they're becoming less and less relevant, these kind of publications, traditional print media, etc., they're also just becoming even more like openly just like bullshit. So you're like, just what is the point in any of this? Because these sort of lists could be good.
Yeah.
They could be good.
If
Well,
they
then,
put
give
you
us
on
your list. Let's hear it.
Who do you
Mark
think
Jennings, number one, obviously.
yeah,
Second.
top five. Just let's do top five
No,
Scottish.
here's the thing.
Mark and
the,
4 girls who's trying to shag.
the exercise is stupid anyway. Because here's the thing:
It's subjective.
art is not a hierarchy.
Art is subjective.
Yeah, and what do they mean
But
by hot?
Richard Gadd deserves to be number
I mean,
one.
the number one. I'm not grumbling for the number one.
For this year of undiscovered Scottish artists, or undiscovered, but like
There's only one undiscovered Scottish artist. It's fucking me. I've got these cunts. But what I would say is that I just think that
for me, it'd
what's
go
the point in
Richard
these-
Gadd. What's the script?
And then
Susie McCabe. And then
take a pick.
here comes the guillotine.
Uh-huh.
And
She's
a
in
number.
twice, is she? Susie's at 3 and 4. She had a good year.
Yeah.
And then Susie's appearance on a different podcast at 5.
When
If you
Susie
look-
hosted, have I got news for you?
I would love to know how it works. I assume that like they just go right. You do fucking 80 to 70, and then you do 70 to 60, and they dish it out, and then somebody goes, well, fucking Armando and she's already been put in number 30, so you can have him at number 20 or whatever. So that's how I assume it works. But as I say, stupid lot of shit,
Might be.
you know.
I want to hear more about this. I want to
Listen,
I want to
the
wind
only
Mark up
true-
again.
The only way to find out who's hot in Scotland is to watch the Some Laugh podcast. Whoever we get on as a guest, most of the time, are hot and
They are
people
hot.
we like and enjoy and love. And,
And-
that's who the only people you should be paying attention
And not just Scottish. We go UK wide.
This is true.
Sometimes in
Dare
Australia.
I say
Australia.
further, they'll be in Australia, they'll get on.
Sometimes.
They get everywhere.
Sometimes there's a Canadian based in the UK. But aye, anyways, I'm putting them
I
on
did
blast.
think it was hilarious. My bio was hilarious in it, I thought.
What is that?
Just the fact that it went on about you guys and then got the Queen of
Queen
Your
of the
wrong.
New Year
It's,
wrong.
aye,
And
but
you're on tour.
this is a level of journalism. This is the demise of journalism. And I'm calling it out. I'm sick of it.
Listen.
Fake news. Fake news.
Whoever you are, I would love to be on it next
It's
year.
not fake news. It's just slightly wrong news.
Slightly wrong news. Well, that's worse than no news at all. Anyway, I want to hear Noam Chomsky's thoughts on they're trying to manufacture consent, is what he would say about the Hot 100 list, and I'm here to call it out. Anyway.
The only publication I want to go on record against is Chortle.
Okay.
Because they gave you that. Let's do your petty corner. Let me find. Let's see if I've got an axe to grind as
But
well.
I've got absolutely no problem with them. And Steve, if you want to come review me at the Fringe, please feel free. I've always thought that you've got, for the most part, very well. Balanced
Steve, I
takes.
know that you're typo. They're just typos.
They're just
You know what I mean?
typos.
You just read past them.
That's all that's my only grudge. is-
Somebody who's their own editor, I can understand it. Sometimes it's hard to edit your own work. But what you got? So you were going to?
Because they gave you a 2.5 a few years ago.
Did they?
No, just because the typos and the they get things wrong, like that Maryland thing. That's not good journalism.
That is poor.
That's poor
What was the
stuff.
Maryland thing?
Like she's
So
getting our
just-
number wrong.
Oh
the
yeah,
number
you
wrong,
said the
yeah.
number wrong. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, well, as I say.
Marilynn's moved to London. To me, she's ineligible.
Yes.
Yes, I would like
As is
to.
Gad, to be fair.
Mhm.
I knew she. None of this fucking lot. I'm the only cunt that still lives in Scotland on this list.
Although ironically, you weren't in Scotland when it get released. Probably you're still in fucking Vietnam.
I was on the other side of the world. Yeah. I went when I had a gig in Glasgow.
Because they lifted a finger in fucking 2 months. These fucking.
My stock's just gone up and up. The less I do, the better it gets.
I'm looking forward to you posthumously still being on the list. Fucking me and them.
I'd be like Van Gogh. when I
Aye,
suddenly
your
get
body's
popular.
literally cold and you're still in the hot fucking 100. Anyway, with that being said, that wraps it up for this week's episode.
Can I just say quickly, I was speaking to Milo Edwards the other day, who
Uh-huh.
was on the pod recently.
Yeah,
but I
we've no
wasn't
idea
here.
yet, but
And he was saying that he's been on tour as well, and he was listening to some laugh on the road and he was enjoying it. But he said what he likes about it when it's the three of us is it feels like we're all doing a different podcast, which I thought was
that's
very
probably
funny.
the most apt way of of summing it up. I would say.
thought that was very
what,
funny.
What podcast do you think we're doing? Individually, I reckon you're doing a serious, well, the one that you want to interview guests. I'm doing a stupid cunts talking to each other.
I'm just barely doing a podcast.
But as he said earlier on, I'm doing
I'm doing everything, but to a lesser extent. I think it was something like that.
Yeah, that's a good.
There's nothing I won't barely do.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you're
Okay.
great at it.
Less is more, I think. Why does everyone want to hear more?
Yeah, good at it.
I know. Anyway, well, thank you so much for tuning in as ever, guys. Obviously, as we have mentioned, as has the list, Stu, you're on tour next year.
Yeah, pretty hot tour coming up. Get me on Instagram and all that. Get tickets.
If you want to see someone who is not in the top 100,
Mark's
hot
going to go
people in
full
Scotland.
anti-mainstream.
Yeah,
with this.
that's it.
Little
I've been
fucking Joe
radicalised.
Rogan over there.
But yeah, I'm also doing a tour at UK and Ireland in the summer of 2025. Tickets are on sale now. Not many left for Glasgow, by the way, in March. If you want to come along to that.
Oh yeah, me too.
Check out Steve on Queen of the New Year, upcoming in a couple of
Yep.
weeks.
Yes, I'm also doing the Glasgow Comedy Festival.
Yes.
You sure?
Yes, no?
That's a whip.
Fuck it. I'm
So-
doing a whip as well.
It's a whip.
Gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Who gives a
Working
shit about that?
yes.
Maybe I'll be on the list for that. They've
That's
done a
it.
whip this
If
year.
that whip can be so hot that
Done the hottest whip I've ever seen in my life.
Have you seen the picture for my whip?
no.
It's me in a Chinese restaurant in Bangkok because I only had like 10 minutes to fill in the form. So I got her to just take a picture of me eating my dinner and I uploaded it the wrong way, so it's sideways. I was like, I'll fucking leave it. Okay, it's a whip.
Who cares? I'll settle it anyway. Anyway, well, thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. As ever, please just remember to like and subscribe on YouTube. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. That's the only reviews we care about, not the list. And you can follow us at SomeLaughPod on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And send any question you've got to our email address, which is somelaughpod.
At gmail.com.
There you go. That's it. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. And we'll see you very soon.
Thanks,
See you later,
guys.
guys.